Well, hello to Kenya. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Joe. How about yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. And I appreciate you taking the time to speak to me today on Find Your Voice. This is where we interview our thought leaders, speaking coaches, and professionals to find out their story and their insights and hopefully entertain and educate some people. And I'm just going to introduce you now. So, your name is Takenya Freeney, and you're a US Army veteran, classically trained vocalist and pianist, and a former educator turned executive voice coach. So, you help bold professionals stop shrinking and start speaking with magnetic presence on stage and in meetings and on camera. And that sounds fantastic. So, yeah, let me know, fill me in on a bit more information about you.
Wow, I think you pretty much hit everything on the head there. I am a military veteran. I've served my country for 10 years. I have been an educator for the better part of 20 plus years as a music educator. The classical training as a vocalist and pianist is something that sticks with me to this day. I don't think there's a huge market for people to sing in Italian and French and German or play Bach, Brahms, Boogie Woogie, and the blues, but I'm here for it.
Cool. That's awesome. So when it comes to your origin and your insights, then, so I mean, you talk about helping leaders reclaim their voice. So what does that really mean in practice? How do you find this work as a veteran and educator? What got you into it?
That's a really good question. I think I've always had a heart for people. I've always had a heart for being able to see people in ways that they can't always see themselves. And music just happens to be the vehicle that I use to help people transform. So if that's helping someone successfully defend their dissertation, if that is helping someone prepare for a speech that they have to deliver at a national convention so that they can speak to an audience of fellow oncologists, if that is helping someone to be able to better express themselves in ways that feel safe and secure and free, that's what I do.
Yeah, and of course, fun as well. I mean, people love singing, don't they? Whether they're any good or not, it doesn't matter. It's that whole kind of just enjoying, embracing yourself. And I would imagine it relaxes people a lot when they're singing at the same time as kind of like telling their story, I guess.
It was just an easy walk for me because I'm still a musician at my core. There is so much of me that is a musician that I bring to the
Mm.
table. And I still run my music lesson studio on a very limited basis.
Right.
If I'm constantly helping people understand the language of music and you have no prior experience with that, I'm literally teaching people another language, whether they
Mm.
be a child or an adult. And I'm helping them to better connect with themselves through music. So I can take that same paintbrush and apply it to public speaking. It's the
Right.
same techniques, just in a different ballpark.
That's fantastic. Well, I read somewhere as well that you walked away from the classroom and the traditional path to create something radically different. So, what was the lie that you had to reverse to step into this work? What was the kind of? This sounds could be controversial, but what would you say is like the misconception?
The lie I believed was that I had to earn the right to be heard.
Right.
And I saw that in my students as well. They felt like their voices were minimized. And I didn't want them to have that be painted on their souls.
Hmm.
They still have a whole future ahead of them. And me, as a seasoned and mature woman of a certain age, I didn't want to continue to put myself in a box. And the truth in the classroom had to sound a certain way in order for it to be valuable. That was a lie. That was a
Right.
lie. Teaching taught me just how much my voice is policed. There are certain things you can't say. There are certain
Hmm.
ways that you have to speak about certain things, and especially for a Black woman, and especially in the systems and the constructs that we have here in the United States. There are
Hmm.
certain ways we are expected to move, and if we don't do that. So my
Hmm.
own voice was able to break free when I realized I did not need permission. My voice just needed to be reclaimed.
Right. No, that's fantastic. I hope things have improved over the last sort of 10 years with that side of things. Would you say they have in general?
No.
Really? Okay.
Big fat no. It's the autonomy that teachers used to be able to have in the classroom. It allowed them to make these deeper connections with their students.
Right.
Today, there's so much regulation and there's so much capitalism in the classroom.
Mm.
Where's the room for the person? Where is the room for each other's personhood and humanity? It's very small now.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. So the teaching method is called the lie reversal method. So you could tell me a bit more about kind of like that in detail, if you could, just explain to people what that's about.
Woo! Woo! The lie reversal method. This is so personal for me because, as I understand it in the work that I do with my clients, what happens most often is there is a lie that we believe about our voice. It's a lie. But the lie reversal method is a 3-part framework to help leaders uncover that lie so that they can reclaim the truth and rise in their personal resonance. That's what we
Right.
do.
Okay. So what would you find the most common kind of thing that people have objections to when they come through to you? So what are their biggest fears normally when it comes to speaking? Is it their accent? Is it they feel they're not interesting enough? I mean, for me, I mean, I've got a bit of an accent. I'm from the southwest of England. You know, it's known as being the kind of capital of farmers. You know, unless you wanted to be a farmer, there's not necessarily many big career path opportunities. So I've kind of pronounced my R's. So when I talk, it's like R sometimes. So I have to kind of monitor that a little bit. So that's the thing I'm conscious of. But some people, it might be a stammer or a stutter or a lisp. So what would you say are the most common things that you encounter when it comes to people's, insecurities?
Woo, the most common thing that I think people are insecure about is they believe that their voice has to be presented a certain way in order to be palatable and acceptable. So what I hear often is, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm like, what do you mean you're not ready? You're a doctor. You're a doctor. You're not ready. These people are subject matter experts in their field and they feel that they're not ready. So what they end up doing is a lot of self-editing, trying to get their voice to fit inside of a box that was not designed. It wasn't designed for that. So you spend a lot of the time trying to get it right, and having an accent is an asset, not a
Right.
liability. It gives you flavor. It puts some seasoning on it so people can say, oh, okay, Joe from Wales. Okay. All right. And for me, there is a little bit of editing that comes with my voice being, I'm from Texas.
Mm,
I'm from Texas. That accent can run real deep if I let it go. It can run real deep. But the fact that I know that I want to be understood by a broader audience, in Texas, we tend to speak a lot of east-west actions with our mouth.
right.
But if I want to be understood by a broader audience, I need to take it north-south with my mouth.
Interesting.
And that's
Okay.
just a small edit we can do. If you want to be understood by your audience, there are some slight modifications that may need to take place, but the voice is ready. The voice is ready. It's the beliefs around your voice that just need to shift.
Interesting. So moving on to that then, I mean, would you say, give us some tips on how people can help train their voices? So what would you say is a few things that they can do on a daily basis for public speaking?
Hydrate,
Right.
rest, don't underestimate it. The way my voice sounds first thing in the morning versus the way my voice sounds middle of the day versus the way
Mm,
my voice sounds end of the day. Those are 3 different versions of my voice. So I would say hydrate, rest, warm up, warm up, warm up. I cannot say that enough. Warm up the same way an athlete will warm up their body before they take off running. You have to
mm,
do the same things for your voice. For me, that can be as simple as what I call a lip trill. And it's just buzzing the lips in a certain way that has you to continually pass air. Now, it looks
right.
weird. All that weird stuff you see us doing as musicians, it actually works. It actually works.
Okay.
So a lip trill would be, there's 2 things happening there, right? Okay, besides my nose tickling, there's 2
And
things happening
I've
there.
tried that and my lips really to itch when I do that. It drives me crazy. Yeah.
I think it's funny though. The 2 things happening here. There's diaphragmatic engagement in order to have
Mm,
a continual airflow to produce that sound.
right.
And it's a gentle way to massage the vocal cords and give them a chance to like, oh wait, I'm ready now.
Mm. Interesting. That's really, really good. Yes. What about other techniques, would you say, when it comes to, is there anything they can do that actually makes more noise for the vocals to kind of strengthen them, to give them more power?
You have to get connected with your body
Okay.
because I know based on what a hall looks like, what application I need to bring with my voice. So
Mm,
right now, I know to be able to pull in my diaphragmatic muscles, you got to get
mm,
into your body. I know how to,
mm.
oh, let me just bring my stomach in a little bit. I know those muscles are there somewhere. My imaginary 6-pack, it's there. It's there.
Cool. That's great. So when it comes to the clients then, how do you help them from overthinking their message to actually trusting their voice?
Well, I got to get them out of their head and into their body. It's important because your voice doesn't live in your notes app. There's so many times where I've seen people, oh, well, I had this idea and it's sitting in your phone. And then they
Mm,
sit there and they read it like a drone. Little Bobby said that we were going down the street. And after we got down the street, we turned left. After we turned left, we went right. It's almost like Forrest Gump type.
yeah, yeah.
But you have to get connected to your body. That nervous system has to be calm. It has to be calm. And so I give people not just a way to find their message, but a way to also feel it because people
Mm,
aren't going to remember facts. They're going to remember how
mm,
you made them feel. So it's nervous system connection. It's getting out of your head and overthinking all the time. Y'all are thinking this. A lot of people are thinking the exact same thing. Oh my God. What if I
mm,
mess up this word? What if I forget? What
mm.
am I being understood? Is my point being made? And you're worrying about the wrong thing because nobody else is thinking about the thing that you're thinking about.
Of course.
They're not. It's you
You're self-sabotaging, aren't you? It's
every single
procrastination as
time.
well. It's yeah, definitely. So you do work with a range of leaders preparing for launches and personal breakthroughs. Can you kind of share a before and after transformation of your work that surprised you and that you can share with us?
Getting a little weepy on the inside. One of my students, and I'm going to say her name, Sarah. So, wherever Sarah finds this, Sarah is a member of a marginalized community and she's an advocate for so many other people,
Hmm.
but she remained invisible to a certain extent. And so when she said to me, Takenya, I could not have done this without you, break out the church fan. Break out the
Yeah. No, that's great though. That's awesome. I mean, the fact that you can do what you do and it impacts people's lives so much is a real credit to you, and it's so rewarding, isn't it? So, yeah, that's great. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome for people to hear. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
just watching her stand in her authority
Right.
and be unapologetic about her story.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. We
Well,
don't need to apologize, just be.
100%. Yeah. And also, I believe that this kind of work that you do is really going to help people in all ways of life, because if people can be more articulate, they can be more confident to speak what they think and feel, then that's going to help them within their relationships, within day to day, things that might happen to them within their family. They've got the courage to then speak up. And even for example, if they do have to, unfortunately, read something at someone's funeral or whatever it might be, any kind of time when they're being forced to kind of speak in public, they're going to have that confidence because they've worked with you. So it could, really change the way that people view them, like you said, and the confidence it can bring to people as well. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really, really good. So thank you for letting us know that little story. Appreciate it. So let's just talk a little bit about the lie reversal circle, and who's it for and what makes it different from other speaking programs, would you say?
This is for the person who self edits. This is for the person who knows that they have a powerful message to say, but
Hmm.
there's a gap between their message and the moment. So the training that I provide gives them weekly coaching, some voice work, chances to practice. A lot of the times you get taught this is how you should speak in a public speaking. You get taught the how,
Hmm.
but I show people to connect with their why they're doing it. Who is this
Right.
going to impact? What happens if I don't speak? Who am I protecting by my silence?
It's fantastic. So also as well, I'd imagine even being on podcasts like we're having this conversation now, this is a way for them to refine their key talking points, get their message across. I mean, what's your opinion when it comes to them kind of practicing their narrative on different podcasts to, build that confidence so eventually maybe going out on the stage?
A podcast is the perfect platform to position yourself as the authority. You're already
Mm.
the expert, and you don't know where this is going to reach. You don't know who's going to hear this message at the time that they need to hear that message.
That's good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's 100%. That's really powerful stuff. And also it lasts a very long time. It's leaving a legacy, isn't it? That's the main thing about doing these conversations. You're leaving a legacy online, which lasts for a long, long time. It doesn't just
Like a
disappear like a radio ad.
It's a permanent business card. I don't even, do people even
Mm.
trade business cards anymore. I think people trade podcast episodes like it's a business card.
Exactly, 100%. And also as well, I mean, in the days like we're in now at the moment with AI and all of the different fears around, people losing jobs and stuff like that, having your personal brand online is so important. Having podcast episodes out there, it's rising above the noise of, thousands of resumes that are going out for different jobs because, employers will search candidates by their name, and it helps having these conversations online. It really does build a portfolio for personal brand. So yeah, that's wonderful. So, to Kenya, just a last sort of question then, really. It's kind of if someone's listening right now and they know that they've been shrinking or silenced in their voice, what's the first step you'd have them take?
I would have them book a sacred voice check-in. Sacred voice check-in. This is the session that opens the door to their next level. This is
Right.
where we locate what is that lie? What's the lie? So that we can activate your truth to give them the permission that they didn't even need to move forward with clarity. You
Mm.
don't need permission. Reclaim your voice. There's no fix in here. I just want people to remember.
Okay, that's fantastic. So, where do our audience find you? Where do they book in this session?
You can book at kenyaskeys.com.
Fantastic. And they can also find you on LinkedIn as well. So, Takenya Freeney on LinkedIn. Are you on other platforms, social media? You got Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that?
I am on Facebook, Takenya Freeney, and I'm on Instagram, Kenya's Keys, TikTok, YouTube. We out there.
Good. That's awesome. Fantastic. Well, I encourage our listeners to book in that call and get their personal brand and get their voice heard. It's very, very important. And that's to kind of conclude today's episode of Find Your Voice. And to Kenya, it's been an absolute pleasure and very much enjoyed talking to you. And good luck with the future. And I'm sure we will be doing more business as we go on further into the year because you're one of our acclaimed speaking coach representatives for the business. Yes. Thank you very much for your time. Much appreciate it.
I appreciate you as well, Joe. I appreciate you as well, Joe. I'm just really excited. I can't contain it. I'm excited.
Cool. No problem. Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. And yeah, we'll take care and speak soon. Look after yourselves. Bye bye.